All right, so you're watching this because you're interested in how to support your child with their device, right? Whether it's an iPhone, their tablet, looking at that relationship between your child and their device, and then you being the parent. How do you support, right? What should you be looking out for? Now, my name is Dr. Juan Santos. I'm the owner and a counselor over at Santos Counseling. So I'm going to give you some insight from a clinical point of view, from a counselor's point of view, also from a father's point of view. I've got two kids, and sometimes I get on those devices and I see some changes. So let's start there. You know, when we look at the relationship your child has with their device, I think it's important to look at it just as that, a relationship. And I want you to think about yourself. How do you feel when you spend time with a person you really enjoy spending time with versus a person that you do not enjoy spending time with? More than likely, one of those means that, excuse me, get a quick glass of water. Sip of water, not glass. So, more than likely, that means that when you spend time with the person you enjoy, you feel better. You feel stable or good. And then when you spend time with that person that you bump heads with, you feel a little aggravated, a little bit annoyed. Now, when your child is on their device, let's say their tablet, keep an eye on how they feel during the interaction, after the interaction. If you notice that your child gets on the device and you say, hey, it's time to head out, maybe for dinner, and they are just really upset, that's interesting, right? Because why are they getting upset when they're doing something that's supposed to be enjoyable? So I share that with you as a point of curiosity, right? That's where it could be helpful to work with a counselor to understand, is this that my child is having a issue with a transition? Is it that my child is doing something on the device that is disrupting their mood? And overall, working with a counselor can really help to pull that out and to support the parent, to support your child with developing a healthy relationship with their device. The other item that I want to go into when it comes to the device, and it's a popular one, is time, right? How much time should my child spend on there? I like to look at this in a couple of different ways. One is I think about going to the gym, right? You want to go to the gym for 30 minutes, maybe a couple of hours, but you don't want to be there for 4 hours, right? Your legs will be sore to the point that you're probably going to injure something. And then that's actually a thing, right? When we exercise too much, that repetitive movement can cause injury, right? It doesn't, and muscles are going to tear, but we want them to recover. So then here with the device, I want you to think about it in a very similar way. What I want you to mix in though is time and purpose, right? So if your child is on a device, think about time and then bring in purpose. Why are you on there? So I'll give you an example. Let's say my son is on the device and he goes, hey dad, can I get on the tablet? I may go, sure. Tell me what you're gonna do on there. So then he may say, well, I wanna do blank app. Well, now we have a purpose, right? And then we kind of think about, well, how much time should that app take? So I may say, that's fine, why don't you get on there and do that app, and you're on there for an hour. So it's 4 o'clock, you'll be off at 5. So it's pretty structured. Let's say you have a teenager, so it's a little different. Your teen says, hey, I need to, get on my device for some homework. Well, realistically, the homework should take somewhere between 2 to 3 hours. And I use that data there because when you look at, let's say, college courses, typically 1 hour of a college course, like a 50-minute course, equals to about double the amount of time of study. So then you could say that if your child is in a math class, it may take them 2 hours to complete 1 hour of that work. So that gives you a rough ratio. Again, what's really going to help with time is purpose. Why is your child on there? The other item that I want you to look at is appropriate spaces. Now, when I was growing up, I could go to school and have a great day or whatever day, and it ended there. It wasn't until later, I think middle school, and phones started to come out. But now I think about kids and they're at school, and even, what if at school they fell down, somebody took a picture of it, and now they come home and they still have that with them consistently. That's just tough, right? That's difficult, no escape. So what I want you to consider as a parent is look at your child's device and look at all the spaces they're in and just ensure that those are healthy spaces. So if they are maybe on Kids Messenger, if it's a young child, or maybe they are older, they're on Instagram. Just sit down with them and say, hey, I want you to tell me a little bit about these spaces that you're in. How do you use them? And what you're looking for is you're looking for red flags. So if you have a young child and maybe your young child is 11 and under and they're on Snapchat, right? That could be a potential red flag, because we know with that app, you can send something and it deletes right away. So what would be the purpose of that for a young child? It's not to say that it's an automatic no, but it's a strong point of consideration, right? At that age, we may look at Kids Messenger, because with Kids Messenger, the parent can monitor every single item that goes back and forth, right? And you can even monitor on iPhones, where you're able to turn off certain apps, or plug them in so they turn on at a certain time and disable at a certain time, or every time they want to download an app, they come to you for a certain password, right? Little things like that can help your child be in healthy spaces. And the last one, and there's so many more when it comes to helping your child have a healthy relationship. And here's the last one, and this one I learned in a training, but I am losing the name of it. And here's what they talked about. They mentioned crossing a road and knowing how to press a button so that your signal has a little person walking, and that alerts you that you're supposed to still look both ways and cross the road. So we as parents, we teach our kids that. We teach them how to cross the road, to look both ways. And we don't wait until a certain point to do this. So the training that I did and mentioned that about devices, and it said, our kids are gonna have devices. And we have two options. One is we can withhold them and wait until they're like 18 years old and say, now you can have this device. But you're giving this huge device to a child, an adult at that point, right? They're 18, with no experience using it. You're hoping that all their other life experiences make it easier for them to use it. And then this presenter that was in this training I was in said, what if you do that for crossing a road? What if you never teach your child how to cross a road, and you wait until they're 18, and then at that point you go cross the road, right? It's problematic. So instead, what I encourage you to look at, I encourage you to bring in a professional, right? Have a counselor you're working with, so you can have that individual to lean on consistently. Number two, look at the building blocks, right? Just like little Lego pieces. Introduce the device. Let them know its risks. Let them know ways that it could be fun to utilize it, right? Like sending emojis, that could be fun. Let them know the risk as well. Let them know what happens when you take a picture and what the cloud is. The more they know, right, the more equipped they are to make effective decisions. And the same is correct. The less they know, the more equipped they are at making decisions that just hold a little less insight, right? Because they're not informed. Now, if you need support, reach out to Santos Counseling. We have clinicians that are trained in areas ranging from play therapy all the way to trauma-informed, to utilizing systems to support us, counselors here at the practice, and working with kids, working with families, individuals. I hope that you found this video helpful. Have a great rest of the day.